Donald Trump proudly proclaimed this week in a panicked series of posts on Truth Social that, by God, if he doesn't get immunity from any and all criminal prosecution, then no president will ever get absolute immunity, which means none of us, former presidents that is, will ever get to enjoy their golden years. We don't get to enjoy retirement because we're going to be prosecuted every other day for all of these horrible things. Here is what Donald Trump said. Again, this is multiple different posts on Truth Social. I'm kind of squeezing them together, just taking out the greatest hits. Trump started with saying, quote, "Without immunity, it would be very hard for a president to enjoy his or her golden years of retirement. They would be under siege by radical, out-of-control prosecutors, much like I am, but without the retirement. If a president does not have immunity, the court will be opening the floodgates to prosecuting former presidents. An opposing hostile party will be doing it for any reason all of the time." That sounds like a threat to me. "If they take away my immunity, they take away crooked Joe Biden's immunity. Without immunity, it would be very hard for a president to properly function." So that last statement there, without immunity, it would be very hard for a president to properly function. Why? Because the job of the president of the United States is to constantly break the law? That's what that statement implies. Like, if I don't have immunity from prosecution, how am I going to do my job? Are you doing that many prosecutable offenses on a daily basis? Like, do we need to open broader investigations into what you did while president? Like, how many other things did you do that you think you could be prosecuted for if you don't have immunity? I think that's a big question that Donald Trump's statement opens up for the public. But we're never going to get an answer to that. Here's the thing, though. Trump is intentionally misconstruing what the entire immunity case is about. The case that is currently awaiting a decision from that 3-judge panel, again, they heard the arguments earlier this week. What that case is about is not presidential immunity. The president of the United States, along with members of Congress, House, Senate, they have immunity. The Constitution gives them immunity. What's at issue with Trump's particular case is whether that immunity applies to his acts leading up to January 6th. Specifically, were they the actions of a president of the United States and therefore covered by immunity? Or were they the actions of a candidate which would not be covered by immunity? Even if this court comes back and says Trump does not have immunity from prosecution on this particular issue, it does not do away with presidential immunity at all. Like, it doesn't even touch it. Trump, I have to imagine, knows that. But what he is trying to do is scare enough people out there into thinking that, if I lose immunity in this case, everybody loses it, nothing but prosecutions from here to eternity now. That's not what's going to happen because they are still protected by constitutional immunity. Donald Trump could not be prosecuted for building his southern border wall because that was an action of the president. He could not be sued for implementing his trade war because those were protected actions as president of the United States, regardless of how many people it hurts. He cannot be prosecuted for dropping bombs on civilians across the planet. Immunity protects these people from that. It shouldn't, but it does. But in this particular case, the issue is not, does a president have immunity? It's, was this guy acting as a candidate or was he acting as the president when he did the things he is alleged to have done? Ring of Fire is just a few subscribers short of hitting that 1 million subscriber milestone. So if you're not already subscribed, please go ahead and do so and stay up to date with all of the latest from Ring of Fire.